I do you remember my vlog I was telling you about? I was cleaning the garage to get the van out and get it back into action. I've just been in here again now. I've moved it out. I've not used the move, I've pulled it out. It wasn't easy, but I'm touching this at the back side here. I'm very close, very close down the side. There's a thing there, a container will get shifted, but I've just been using a blower, a steel blower I've got for doing the leaves and stuff in the garden, and I've just been having a real good going over with it. It's a petrol one, which you need really a bit tougher. But anyway, I'll tell you what I've been doing that. I may have told you, put the lights on. They've got LED strip lamps here. So this is at the back, and you can see at the top there we've got, I've just cleared a load off the deck, a load of ivy coming through. This is the van at the back. Not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be, in all fairness, but it's pretty filthy dust. And around the back here, as I say, not quite as bad as I thought it would be. I'm going to repaint all along here. I put all this concrete, this cement block in actually because it was ideal for putting bits of things on, like a shelf. But this is what I'm up against, is this up here. So you can see, but I'm quite pleased with the way this is because I've never touched this in 5 years, believe me. And with all the polish and everything, because when it came back in January 2020, and it stopped in here, and it was mucked up when it came in. It wasn't brilliant, but it's really worn quite well. That ivy, it's trying to get into the caravan. Luckily I killed it off on the outside. Now it's ivy, I don't know if anyone's had ivy, but it really is one of the most difficult plants to get rid of. And I'm going to get shut of it. Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get this, found a piece of old spare wood here. Try and get it down. Look at this. I mean, I do like ivy for the birds really, but oh. There we go. And there's a piece up there again. I might try and get that bit, tidy it up. Look how it's, look, I mean, just look how that's coming through. Oops, don't worry about that. Oh, just having a struggle to. It's really wound its way in, look, getting underneath the roof there, and it would actually start to take the roof off. Oh. I think I've got, look at that there, I don't want to bust the light, that's the trouble. I will do if I'm not careful. I might better just pull that down a bit anyway. I mean, it's not doing any harm now, but I'll get the step ladders later and just get up here. I mean, look how tough this stuff is. That's been dead for quite a while. So at least we've got the main off the roof, as far as I'm aware of. Let's have a quick look up there. Get the old extension out. Right. So the roof is pretty filthy. As you can see, you can't hear much of me because I haven't got my external mic with me. That is looking at the roof. Now in those boxes there, I think there's some old motorhome brochures in there. When I say old, probably from the early 2000s. But yeah, so the idea is to get all this cleared up, get this all done. And I'll start on that and I'll show you what I'm doing. But first of all, I'm going to have it so the legs, I'm going to have the van tilting upwards. Then I just wind the nose down, and then move it along and pull it back up again to put the leg, you know, so that I have to, because I put it right up against the wall, so you can't really get the leg winder. And I've got like a spanner type thing, but it's not easy. So that's what I'm going to do. Whew. Let's see what else we've got to come up with. But I'll show you how easy it is to clean after. Anyway, right, I must crack. I'm going to show you best I can while holding the camera. Just hang on with me here to use this grease lightning out. Let me just get this sorted. The only thing with that is, well, I don't know if anyone's experienced cutting it off the wall or anything, but it gets very, very, very dusty. It really is dusty stuff. So, look at this. So here we are. It's the bottom bit that's got it more than anything. I mean, the lock bit is quite clean. Quite amazed. So let's have a go. So you give it a good shake. As I say, I've used a lot of waterless ones and I've never rated them at all. But, and I used to sort of think this was taking the mickey out of this. This is 20 quid from my local store. And I used to think, oh, I don't rate that. I bet it was rubbish. But I got some and I've really used it. And I used my last bit up and I went up to my local car place and I said, have you got any? They said, we've got 4. I said, I'll get one next time. I went back again a couple of days later. They've just got 1 left. So I've got it and I'm going to give it a go now. So give it a good old spray up. On the number plate or the back end there. Just going to tighten this up a bit. It seems a bit loose, that's it. This is the main bit I'm going to be concentrating on. Now if you use this, don't get too worried that it's a bit slimy to come off to begin with, because it will be. So I'll get a real good liberal coating. Now, oh gosh, you know, I used to love coming in here of an evening years ago, well, in years gone by, and to be able to clean your caravan inside in winter is a real bonus. Right, so we're going on this bit here. This is easy peasy bit, isn't it? Get on the handles, get down here. Moment, let's see how it goes on here. And away it goes. Now I still think this is the best for the money. It's coming off, and it's coming off there pretty easy. And that's been on for over 5 years. Ground in dust that's got wet as well. You know, you get a bit of damp even in the garage. Up here and round. Just change my thingy over. See, the one good thing here as well, I can see who's coming up the drive. So people think, oh, you can't see you. They can. I can see them. You've not cleaned the van for a while. I used to just do this in my sleep almost. Plus as well, I'm a few years older. And you're not on the right side of 60, are you? And you're doing this, like, you know, strenuous. I do quite a lot of strenuous bits of work, do a lot of garden stuff. So we're still just wrapping round there, like that, over the plate. Now, that's looking better already, but the next trick is to now use a decent cloth. Now you can't beat these microfiber cloths. Now I don't like the small things, I like big ones like this, where you can cover a lot of area. Look, the ground isn't wet or anything, no stones. I get off, leaf. But these were from the original Wilkies. I think they were about £2, and do you know what, I've had some now for years and they've been brilliant. I cleaned the caravan with them. They've been absolutely fantastic. So now I'm going over this. And already that's getting that almost back to sort of how it looked before, newness look. Look at that. Now, as I say, don't think you're going to do this with your van if it's been stuck in a storage compound and you don't clean it enough, because you won't. You'll need some tougher stuff. But this has come up a treat. And I'm going to do this on all the van and on the roof as well. And I'll stretch over now. It's a bonded roof, and it's a strong bonded roof. So I know it'll take the weight, but what I do is I spread across. I sort of literally like slide across. So I start from the edge, it's cleaning, and then literally end up on the other side. Now the front panel was exactly the same as this, really looking ropey, but look at that, that's come up a lot better, hasn't it? Now the thing is, you may say, well, that's great, Andy, job done. And yes, up to a point it is job done. Not done the window yet. I'll show you how to do the window, but there's already a shine on that. But what I'll now do is I'll do a separate, I'll get some very good quality polish, maybe Chemical Guys, poor boys, with the water, a really good water repellent displacement that polishes have. And what I'll do is then I'll go back over that again, but it'll be a piece of cake. So after five and a half years of this van not moving, this has come up a treat. Now I'm just going to do the window. Now again, the problem with windows is they scratch very easy on plastic. So you've got the sides. They're not too bad, but they will clean up better than that. The other alternative is to take it out and wash it, but I don't really want to do that. I'm going to get everything sorted out. Tiny's blowing up on that, so I need to get an air pump of some description. I have got electric one, it's just getting it to stretch. But what I'll do is I'll get my leisure battery and I'll connect it up to the van's 12 volt, and I can then, with an extension lead that I did, and that will then, I can use that then just to come and do the tyres on the van. Now those tyres will get blown up, but they're going to be replaced. So anyway, here we go. Again, squirt it on. Now look, if you have a new caravan, my advice is this, look, get it cleaned straight away. When you get it home, give it a wash and put some polish on, a good quality polish. And it makes a difference. I've probably been a bit too liberal there with my stuff. Now, get me the cloth again. I could spend hours doing this, sad as it may seem, but I just love my van looking good and clean. And when you're on site and the rain came down, it just ran off and it looked like you just cleaned it. And it was nice when people said, oh gosh, I used to get some people go, what do you clean your caravan with? How come you got it that clean? You say, well, and now you say, oh, it's elbow grease, but it isn't quite elbow grease. Just keeping it polished up. See what I mean? It goes quite greasy. It's quite. I remember Bailey saying to me about they thought the GT60 graphics were one of the best graphics he'd done on a caravan. I don't know if that's quite true. Down here again on the window, just give it a nice light rub because it doesn't need much, and because of the polish on it over the years, I've been a bit over generous on this. It's been a bit silly there. It's because I've been always looked after it, and of course the lucky bit I've had is I have a garage to put it in. It's undercover, so it's dry stored from new. So when it comes to sell it, although it'll be an oldish van, you know, people will be, you know, if I was buying a caravan, I knew it had been dry stored from new and it was an old van, that certainly gives me far more confidence than thinking it's been sat out on a driveway and looking uncared for. Oh yeah. Right, that will start to dry out fairly quick, even though it's sort of not exactly a very dry day. Come on. This garage took a lot of work. Even when it was built, it took me then probably another 18 months to finish it off. Lots of things are painted, and it's already again for a new. There's always jobs to do, and this is one of them. So it's starting to dry off a bit now. You don't have to wait for it to dry off, but I try and let it dry for a little bit. It's got Canuba wax in that, for what that's worth. It could even just have a flake of Canuba. Oh, big spider's web. I'm going to break it with the camera. There we go. Surprised I didn't find a load of bats in here or something. But anyway. Yeah, so it took a lot of work, but it's been worth it in a lot of ways, because it has certainly. I mean, I've had 2 caravans in here once. I had my own van and a test van in. But I can get the car and the van in, of course. Right, let's start cleaning this off. It's coming off nicely. And that window, I mean, the inside will need cleaning, because, you know, as dust and sticks to the window and damp, and then it sort of forms a film inside. So I will be doing probably a few videos of cleaning inside. There's my Historic Caravan Club sticker. I was a member of them, been for a long time. And I'm also sort of like big fan of the retro, the alternative retro club, not the old one. I wasn't a fan of that one bit. The alternative one was formed by members of that because they weren't happy the way it was being run and the person was running it, and I could see why. That person seems to be doing quite well in other areas. Let's just say that. I won't say anymore, but when people collar on to him, they probably might think different. Anyway, and the periodic Classic Caravan Club, all which need new members. They need sort of members because, you know, members come and go, or sadly depart from this earth-bound world we're in. Oh, look at this, it's going up a tree. And that's not, you know, I mean, I'll get a step on the back here. I mean, when I was on site, I would spend time doing that. I think it's a big cobweb again. Get out of it, that's it. Yeah, so the spoiler up there gets cleaned up when I get on the roof. But all this is now, at least I've got some sort of, I feel a bit better. You know what I mean? I feel it's starting to look next neglected. And when I go and get my leisure battery, I'm going to go, I think, as I say, to Whitford Caravans. Good old-fashioned dealership. Always good to see you. I do a few vans there for practical as well. Yeah. So yes, I'd be on site and I'd just pull out the old grease lighting in there. In the old days when you could wash your caravan, and I used to just go around with a bit of a sponge, bit of car shampoo, go over it, and it just came up dead easy. Look, that is one of the secrets of keeping your windows something like, is keeping on top of them from the word go. And if you've got some that are a bit dodgy on a used van, you can start to clean them up. It'll take you a while, but patience is a virtue, as they say. And there's a video on my channel to show you how to clean your caravan windows. I've had quite a lot of good feedback on that. But there we go. Look at that. It is like new. I mean, you'll always have some scratches, but I remember a dealer a couple of years ago came to see me and he saw the van and he went, oh. And he went, are those new windows? I went, no, those are the originals. He says, bloody hell, is it? So how do you keep them like that? I says, because you keep them clean, put polish on. And it gives them protection. Now you're thinking, old Andy's going mad, but honestly, it really is the way to do it. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to push the van back, put the dryer back, otherwise the wife will say, oh, what am I going to do with my dryer? Put that caravan back, because she's gone a bit anti-caravan at the moment. I don't know why, but she has. But anyway, I'm determined to get out in this in April, hopefully, all being well. And hopefully I might even do a couple of vlogs, though I don't do touring vlogs at all. I'm not into that really. You know, this is so part, isn't it, lovely, and all this business. Not interested in that, so, but yeah. So, yeah, I'm really pleased about that. That's come up great. I think you'll agree. That's not bad for a 2009 Caravan, is it? So let's wheel you round. So on that score, I'm now, look at me, I can't stop cleaning it when I get going. It will get some more polish on there, of course. I'm now going to carry on and get the van put back in its place. Get my leisure battery, get that on, get the tyres pumped up, get some air in, get some prices on some new tyres. Probably going to be next year now before I can afford to do it. Unless some dealer wants to give me some tyres. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. But I do hopefully want to get out on the road now. How I've said to you before about caravan has hit me financially as well. To afford to use it, and if I can get away with it a few times, get away with it in get away in a few years, a few times in the year, I'll be happy. And to know that I can actually get the caravan out. So yeah, and of course I haven't towed anything as big as this for 5.5 years. Tow a small trailer around and bop that around and everything, that's no problem obviously, but it'll probably seem a little bit strange just to hitch the van up and get it back up on the road again, and I've towed for over 40 years. In fact, I've been a Caravan Club member for 40 years. But to me now, the club, I don't know. Just not a fan of it really these days. I've done quite a lot for the club over the years, but I don't think I got any real thanks for it in the end. They'll now have other people who claim to know a lot of things and they don't, and get involved with things that they shouldn't, because they think, they talk the talk. And they may fool some people, but don't fool me, and quite a few others as well have said the same. Quite a lot of other people have said the same. But anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for putting up with Andy and his cleaning. And yeah, it's not looking bad. Bye for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.